Hello there, boys and girls, guys and gals, everyone of all. Here we are, once again. Background is changed a little bit from the last time. It's probably going to happen a few times until we figure out exactly how we're going to set up. If you hear any barking, it's because there is a dog outside the room barking up a storm, and that's okay. There he goes. Today we're going to be talking about episode 4. Episode 4.
Yep.
Episode 4 of Quantum Leap. Kyle, what do you think about this episode?
I thought it was very good, very well,
Mm-hmm.
well acted because he's acting as the girl Ben is.
Right.
I do have a little theory though.
Okay.
So we've been going over theories of what could be the reason why, what's her name, the daughter of Al,
Janice, I think.
Janice, is doing all what she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to propose an opposite of what we're thinking was going to happen, or somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
What if she's trying to prevent the team from bringing Sam back? Maybe that's the big event because it was stated in this episode that
Also, this is spoiler just in
Yes.
case you didn't know, and it'll be in the title, so don't worry about that. Go ahead.
but it was stated by Magic that they wanted to bring Sam back, or at least
Right.
he did.
Right.
That's why he joined the project in the first place.
Right. Yes. I was actually gonna bring that up. That this episode, I think, above all else, kind of proves the thing that Ben and Janice probably are not looking for Sam, like I was originally theorizing, because of the fact that, as you mentioned, Magic himself said that he did all this to try and get Sam back.
Right.
So if Ben and Janice are working on the side something else completely, then that must mean that their mission is not to find Sam and bring him home. Which makes me wonder what could that be, and kind of
Right.
again goes to the whole thing about there's something else that
Is that work?
yes. Now whether it's a nefarious thing or not, which I don't see Ben
Doing
wanting
that,
to do. Yeah, I don't see him wanting to do something nefarious. I mean, mind you, we haven't known him long enough, but
We've only known his true self the briefest moment of the first episode.
right. And I don't know. I don't feel like the producers and the story people and everything. I don't feel like they would want to. My God, that is very loud. I hope you are not hearing that air conditioner just going off right now. And if you are, I'm so sorry about it. I don't think all these people that are making this series would want to give us a
Antagonist.
a
basically.
protagonist that is actually an evil
guy.
person, especially whenever you have the previous original series that had this protagonist that everyone loved.
Right.
So like, why would you all of a sudden just give us a protagonist and be like, actually he's the bad guy? It doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like they are doing something else that isn't to find Sam, but it doesn't make sense that it's nefarious.
Right.
Unless something happens to where maybe Janice has tricked him into doing it. But again, I don't see Janice, who is the daughter of
Al.
a character
Yeah.
that everyone loves, Al. I don't see that being a nefarious thing. So again, that kind of makes me think of it's either they're trying to stop Quantum Leap altogether, they're trying to maybe there's like an end of the world event that's going on that they somehow figured out and like they're trying to get to that. So it's just those things. Now, speaking of Magic, what did you think about his little backstory that we got?
Very, very interesting that he remembers his previous timeline, which was one of the questions I was really asking. Like, do they remember their original timeline when something changes?
Well, I don't
And-
think it's the fact that he remembers
Oh,
the original timeline.
okay.
From what I understood, is he read
His profile.
Yeah, he read the profile, and in the profile it said that he originally died.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
Okay. Well, but it's also interesting that they give us that he's like they at least one of either, I guess it would be Al,
Mhm.
or even people in the project other than Al
Mhm.
actually remember the timeline.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's kind of the same thing of what's going on currently, where you'll see like this is what happened in the original timeline, and from what I can only guess is that like as they're going through the mission, all this stuff is put down in notes, and maybe in the notes it's like stored in a place that isn't necessarily affected by the time traveling.
Change. Yeah.
But the one thing I found interesting about it is, so watching the original series and this one, all you really get is kind of from the perspective of the Leaper.
Right.
Just him like jumping into the bodies and doing this, that, and the other, and everything like that. I found it very interesting to hear from someone who had Sam leap into their body what it felt like, and the fact that it was like someone was knocking at the door, nudging on them,
And you
then,
actually had to say yes or no if you really want it.
Yeah.
Because he actually said, yeah, go ahead, enter, basically. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, come in.
like, and I wonder if they would, I don't know, kind of do something, and maybe it happened in the original series and I just don't remember a specific episode, but if there was a situation where like Sam, or maybe they're gonna do it in this season, where Ben like leaps into a body and there's a little bit of a pushback where it's like they don't want them to be left into their body, and maybe there's like some trouble
And he
controlling the
bounces into
situation
another body.
or something to that effect.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just thought that was interesting. And remember how I told you, like, before we kind of began, they had the whole episode where Sam went back in time and he was his younger self and he was trying to get his brother to not go through the war and everything. So that was a 2-part episode, essentially, where that first episode was, you know, him
And
the
he
kid.
obviously fell.
Right. And then that second episode
Was in
was
magic.
the magic, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think I had read something about, like, I think it might have been like an EW article or maybe just a fan website where they talked about everyone who was in it.
Mhm.
And I think I remember them saying that Ernie Hudson's character, Magic, was going to be a previous character already, but it didn't really click until like I saw this episode and I was like, oh yeah! He's the guy. Okay, yeah. I get it. Cool. But it is very interesting knowing that where his heart is at.
Right.
And it also gives me hope, even though I know that Sam himself, I can never remember the actor's name, like it always slips my mind. Sam Beckett, and it's can't remember his name. So mad. But I know he already said no to coming back. But it gives me hope that maybe, just maybe, they'll be like, look, we just want to bring your character back. That way all the fans can stop saying, bring Sam back. Like, get him out of the Quantum Leap. And he'll be like, all right, I'll do it. And then, like, he'll just, like, come out and boom. I'm saved. Thank you. And then, like, he doesn't have to do anything else. But get him out of there.
Yeah.
I'm once again wondering, though, just how long they're planning on taking this season. Well, I mean, I can only assume it's going to be 10 episodes, but like, how long are they planning on taking this story and like getting to this point?
Right.
Honestly, I feel like what's going to happen, either in the second to last episode or maybe the last episode, is they're going to get a hold of Janice and basically just want them to like, there's going to be a situation, I know it's going to happen, but I just want them to do it already, where they have Janice in their hands and they're like, what are you doing? She's like, we're trying to do this. And then it's like, oh, well, let's work together on doing that. So it's going to have all this drama, you know, for nothing.
I was also hoping that Janice was going to appear in this episode as a hologram.
That's what that's what I thought was going to happen, with the fact of how they kind of set it up in the last episode.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the preview for the next episode, so maybe it reveals in that you know, that's what she's doing. But talking a little bit about the jump that he did. So first of all, I've gotten even more on board with the outside of the leap chamber with everyone, because that part of like Magic telling his backstory, I was like, oh, my heart, it's broken. So I like that even more. And with the leap itself, once again, like, just goes to show you, I just want to stay on that so bad, because every moment that we had in there, I was enjoying everything with it. Especially the love interest to Ben's character.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed his continuous thing of, good news is this, bad news is this. Like every like few minutes, like something would happen. Good news is they weren't shooting at her, so they clearly want her alive. Bad news is they shot the tire, so we have to fix that. And then it all led to the thing of, good news is I found her. Bad news is she found me first. It was just such a fun like little thing that his character would do, and it was funny with the girl that we were chasing. I can't remember what her name was, but whenever they got a hold of her and everything, at first I thought her love interest or boyfriend or whatever, I thought he was the guy that they captured at the beginning of the episode.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
that's what it kind of looked like from
Yeah.
the picture. But then once I saw him like all captured and everything, I was like, oh, I guess it's not him. But it was funny whenever she got away. I was like, what? She's the whatever.
the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like sure enough, she's like right there and like has him at gunpoint. And then Ben's like, oh my god, she's working for it. And I was like, nah, bruh, she is it.
Me, I was kind of thrown off. I don't know why I picked up on this one. So it's just a weird thing.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what's up with the Princess Diana thing in the background?
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I was just caught up in that. I was like, what's going on there? And then the father, I was caught up in the father. I'm like, what if Sam and Ben are in the same time period? But obviously, I'm just because I mean, he gave such good advice, and for most of the episode, he wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. And then he gave that amazing. She's at the train depot. It's like, wait, why?
You know, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I honestly, I feel like the dad was just like, you know, just like a dad
Right,
or whatever.
yeah.
You just do whatever. As I think it's Justin Hartley. I think that's the actor who plays the love interest. In
Yeah,
the thing.
he's in the Arrow and all.
Yeah.
Not the Arrow, but Smallville. And all
Right,
that.
right. I think he was just a person who just wanted like his daughter to have good things or whatever. I think Justin Hartley says like his character says that he wants her to like, you know, be a princess and like not
Right.
having to like fight for her life. So like I said, I think he was just, you know, dad doing dad things. But it is interesting that you bring that up because it was weird that he wasn't prominent in the episode. They
Yeah.
would just like bring him up for certain key points, and it was just situations to like give advice or kind of do that. I don't think it was Sam.
Right.
But it is interesting, and the other main reason is because if it was Sam, he would be doing a lot more stuff and being a little bit more active in doing
But maybe
things.
because you said that God sends Sam where he goes. What if God's like, okay, for this one, just take a back seat, and because if there's two jumpers, Sam can push the events without really being noticed and not really taking control.
That is an interesting theory, but like God was never really saying like do this,
Okay,
do
but-
that.
but I mean,
it was always
yeah.
Sam having to figure out what he
Right.
needs to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's no one there to help Sam figure it out,
Anymore.
because there's always Ziggy
Yeah.
that would like tell him what to do. It would just be Sam going, I don't know what happened, so I don't know how to fix things.
Just sit there and watch Princess Diana. That's what it is. He just sat there and watched.
Which I did like that joke of whenever they were talking about Princess Diana and Prince Charles and everything, and Justin Hartley goes, any idiot can see that's not gonna last. Which, in a sense, is exactly what happened. But no, I again just really enjoyed the episode. Like I said, I loved all the characters. It's always the stuff in the Leap is what I enjoy the most.
Oh,
But
yeah.
again, outside of Leap,
Well,
and, like,
this
the
leap was
president-
even better than. I mean, it's getting better and better.
Oh no, I agree.
This leap was the best just because he's playing the opposite sex and
Mhm.
he's the marriage proposer and all that.
And again, I love the dynamic and the chemistry between Addison and Ben. I think that just works so great together. Again, it just makes me like I just wish they were like friends. Like, not that I have anything wrong against their relationship, but like I just like them more as friends and like having that interaction with each other. Just like Sam and Al. So, and it's like it doesn't have to be a situation where you have to have a man and woman be in a relationship. They can legitimately just be friends,
Right.
acquaintances, and stuff like that. So I think it could have worked out in that aspect. I am going to be interested in seeing where Ben's like realization to Addison being his girlfriend, fiance,
Takes him.
takes him in the next episode, and how that'll do certain things. Because you could even see that Ben was kind of struggling in this episode once he realized he had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll just be like, will that affect how he does certain things?
I'm still curious how far he can go into the past now that we know he's slingshotting.
Yes,
Because now we're even further in the past than we've been.
yeah,
so
because it's
far.
like I don't know the exact date, but it looks like it's like at least
Western,
1800s.
Yeah.
So that I think will be fascinating as
It would
well.
be cool to see even further back in like the medieval time or even further.
So if I had to guess, so he's pretty much
I would stop before, like, don't go all the way to prehistoric times because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there would be
Stop
nothing
at like
really
the Greek era or whatever. I don't know exactly what that would be called in the
I mean-
Greek era. I just
ancient times.
okay.
Essentially. But I mean, if you kind of go with that, so that's pretty much exactly what he's done. So let's say he started here and he's kind of done this motion. So right
It's-
now, pretty much where he's at is he's kind of like here.
Yeah.
If you kind of like follow the model, so that kind of means he might go like a little bit more and then come back around until he's wherever he needs.
I
to
mean,
go.
so far he's been in the time that he could have been born in.
Mhm.
Then he slingshot through a time that he hasn't been born in.
Right.
Slingshot back to the time that he has been, and now he's back in the time that.
Right. All to get to this one specific point in time.
So I assume that it's going to go sort of in that same pattern. Next
Mhm.
is going to be a time where he is possibly living, but I could be wrong too. So
I mean, it is possible. Just the fact that they changed so much of the map that they don't fully know where he can go makes things a little bit harder to predict.
right.
But yeah. So, also the other thing I wanted to point out while we were in this video is we have had a few views, which I'm very happy about. Thank you for everyone who wants to watch us talk about this with our limited and vacant knowledge sometimes. 'Cause we
Also, our limited camera work and place to work at.
Yes.
So we are.
But I did want to give a shout out. What was his name? Document Medic,
Yeah.
I believe.
Or Mediac, like Document Mediac.
MEDIC. So it kind of comes out to Medic.
Okay.
But they had commented on our video, letting us know that
This is the second time we've seen the
yes,
comment. Yep.
yes, 2 comments on 2 of our videos. Which again, thank you for that. Awesome. But they let us know that Beth and Al in the original timeline, it was a situation which I do remember that now because there's a situation where Al was presumed dead
Okay.
because he was missing in action. And I do remember there was a situation where Sam kind of fixed the timeline where Beth knew that Al wasn't dead, and so they essentially waited for him and they kind of got together. So apparently in the original timeline there was a situation where Al comes home, Beth is already married to another man. That's who Sam ended up leaping into as the other man that Beth ends up marrying. Like you end up learning that over the course of the episode because you don't know it at first. And you don't realize who the woman is at first either. But in that timeline, whenever Al comes home, they don't end up together. So Al kind of like jumps around from one woman to another woman because he like lost out on his true love. And from essentially what we read in the comment that Document Medic sent to us is that after Sam fixed that situation, Al does just stay with Beth, and that's his only wife. So thank you for that information. Again, I've seen the series before, but it's been forever. Had I realized that this new season was coming out right now,
You
like
would've
this year,
went back
I'd
and
have gone back and
rewatched all of it.
rewatched all 5 seasons because it's fun. I'd have made you watch all 5 seasons too because you would have enjoyed the heck out of it. Seeing as how you're enjoying
I'm enjoying
this.
this. Yeah.
And again, I'm just waiting for an episode or a season because it might not happen this season, but maybe next season, hopefully. I'm just waiting for the Evil Leapers to get in on this.
Oh.
And
From
I
what I'm ready for the antics. From what you told me, it's just the antic show.
like I almost want to go and show you just the episodes that the Evil Leapers are in, that way you can kind of see like what they're about. And then again, they could just take those Evil Leapers and just kind of do a little something different with it to where they're a little bit more
Proactive, really.
Yes, proactive, and they're a little bit more of a threat, if you will.
Like they're actually doing something more than what they originally were. Like I don't know.
And shoot, you know what they could even do? I doubt they would but what they could do is they could almost do like a Star Trek Mirror Universe thing where so like a lot of these episodes it's us seeing Ben and then Ben's people, right?
Mhm.
Well, they could do an episode where if an Evil Leaper comes into play, we can like see it from the Evil Leaper's point of view and then see their present and see what their world is like and why they're doing evil things. But yeah, so guys and gals, everyone, let us know what you think of this episode. What do you think of our thoughts on this episode? Are we completely wrong about this? Is the series getting worse in your opinion? Is it getting way better in your opinion? Are you loving the present stuff? Have you been loving that from the beginning? Or are you just starting to like it like I am right now and having that magic backstory? Let us know everything. Give us another comment. Tell us what we're wrong about that we can fix for y'all. Other than that, if anyone wants to follow me on any social media, that way you can tell me more things and not have to wait for me to go and read comments on YouTube, because I'm very bad at that. You can find me on all social media. Tadler92, Tadler, right? Yep, 92. Kyle is on apparently no social media.
Yeah. No.
So you just had to send everything my way, and I will hopefully be able to see it and respond to it.
What you could also do is make a social media for the YouTube account too.
I probably could do that too. That would
Be probably easier to sort it out that way.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because I have made a few other social medias for other things, and I have
It
trouble
isn't-
just keeping up with all that. Like, I barely post anything at all, and I'm just constantly scrolling through Twitter all the time. So yeah, that just, if you have any comment for me, just follow me. Find me on Tadler92. You don't even have to follow me if you don't want to, but go ahead and do it if you want to. Also on Letterboxd, I'm just Tadler, Tadler. So go follow me there to see my likes and reviews of movies that I'm watching. We're gonna do another video right after this, and that's gonna be on The Mole, the new Mole that came out last Friday. So if you're interested in The Mole and that kind of reality, like mystery kind of thing, tune into that video. And then sometime after that, we'll probably do a long video and do some other stuff. So yeah, see y'all next time.